Today I wish to celebrate Gabor Maté, a man who has really impressed me over the years with his calm and very soft delivery of sometimes very profound and hard-hitting truths as I see them. His experience of working with people suffering from addiction and all sorts of traumas really puts him in a very special position to be able to speak on all manner of subjects that would be difficult for me to disagree with him, because I just don't have the first-hand experience of dealing with those issues. Now, there's a theme here in some of the other celebrations I've had, that it's not because I recognise the genius in this person that I necessarily agree with all of the things that they have to say, and my opinions and my feelings and impressions diverge from his on a whole number of subjects, and in a manner of different ways, and yet I can still see this indisputable genius in the way that he is and the way he delivers himself. He says what he needs to say with such care and with such precision, again with such humanity, because I mean he's really trying his best to be the best example of humanity that he possibly can, not just for himself but for his family and for the world as a whole. He's clearly done an enormous amount of personal exploration, of personal development through therapy and probably all manner of other kinds of encounters with the self. And I see him as a mystic, which I recognise in myself. That is to say that he accepts that there's aspects of reality that we will never be able to explain entirely, that there are things that defy our rational capacity for explanation, that the verbal written word will never catch up with the enormity of reality and allow itself to be condensed to a simple logical sentence. And yet he's a scientist and knows this domain well and has been able to observe firsthand the effect of drugs and all sorts of forms of therapy and where they help and where they don't. I've learned a lot from him in terms of giving thought to the approaches of parenting and self-care in all kinds of domains, and certainly put a big question mark over the conventional approaches to the conventional medical approaches to all sorts of issues that our society suffers from. I certainly agree with him that it seems that the majority of human violence in this world ultimately can be traced back to experiences of emotional violence, of suffering. You know, it's a coping mechanism for suffering that leads us to hurt other people. And so really our work should be focused on how we can heal ourselves and prevent as much suffering as possible. But how we exactly do that, again, is something I'm not exactly sure we would agree upon. But nevertheless, today I want to celebrate the presence of Gabor Maté in this world, who I think has expressed himself so precisely on so many subjects. There's a lot to learn from him. If you're not familiar with this man, I really recommend going and checking out some of his work. So today, a moment's thought for Gabor Maté.